from Captain Peacock, Marks of Flying and Fair Dinkum Bromac. Speed's been very steady for the first 3/4 of a lap as Ideal Arden comes around the turn with 14.50 to go and leads a length and a half. The lead time 1:20.4 off the stand, and it's Ideal Arden by a length and a half. Strike on Command second, Major Bubbles third. Then came Woodley Legend from Unico Rose. Captain Peacock starts the run. Marks of Flying drags it forward, or trails it forward as Major Bubbles and Woodley Legend leave the markers too. Then came Unico Rose, give the job to Barnsey and Fair Dinkum Bromac. Around to go, and the leader is now Major Bubbles taking over from Ideal Arden. Woodley Legends parked up as it goes on with the job from Captain Peacock, Fair Dinkum Bromac, or Strike on Command actually. Then Unico Rose, Marks of Flying back to the pegs from Fair Dinkum Bromac, and 2 lengths to give the job to Barnsey. The first quarter 32.7, and Major Bubbles unbeaten in 6 from the stand, leads half a length over Woodley Legend second. Leaders back third is Ideal Arden from Captain Peacock. Strike on Command, Unico Rose. Then Marks of Flying and Fair Dinkum Bromac, and 2 lengths to give the job to Barnsey. Along the back with around 700 to go, and it's Major Bubbles over Woodley Legend. There's a neck between them. Ideal Arden third, second quarter 29.7, 62.4 for the half. Captain Peacock fourth. Strike on Command fifth, the inside from Unico Rose, Marks of Flying, Fair Dinkum Bromac, and 2 lengths to give the job to Barnsey. 4.50 to go, and the leader is Major Bubbles. Margins ahead, Woodley Legend. Ideal Arden third, the inside from Captain Peacock, and then Strike on Command and Unico Rose. Third quarter in 29.7, and Major Bubbles heads in by a length and a half. Woodley Legend, 2 lengths to Captain Peacock, and then came Ideal Arden. Unico Rose is wider out. Major Bubbles leads, 100 to go. Woodley Legend's not far away, but it's Major Bubbles, half a length. Woodley Legend's trying to grind out a win, but Major Bubbles will hold Woodley Legend and Captain Peacock. Then Unico Rose, Ideal Arden, Fair Dinkum Bromac, Strike on Command, give the job to Barnsey and Marks of Flying. The winner is Major Bubbles. He just keeps going through these grades. 140, 110. 5 Woodley Legend, 4.30, and 9 Captain Peacock, 2.10. 2.5 and 9. Dexter and Cram with this 3-year-old. Gee, they set up some time early. Ideal Arden getting out and running. Woodley Legend second, last quarter 27.9, and the last mile in 2 minutes. And he's just done it from day one, Greg, apart from that fourth. It's the only blot in the winning run of Major Bubbles. He just keeps taking the next step up time and time again.
He does, Mark. He doesn't do anything flashy, does he? He doesn't look like a star, but when you look at his form line, he is. Certainly a winter star, Cran will tell you. He's won 7 from 8 now, never been beaten from a stand. He's still learning a wee bit. See him getting a bit wayward inside the last 50 metres there. Very game, Woodley Legend. Terrific run from him. Tom Twiddle and Katie Cox. Captain Peacock enjoyed an economical trip, and Unico Rose wasn't too far away, but he's owned by the Grangers, Chrissy Dalgetty, and David and Kathy Rankin. Major Bubbles by Art Major out of the good race mare Miss Bubbles, Cran Dalgetty and Dexter Dunn. Take out the first leg of the quaddie. Hearing through from bookmaker Steve Richardson, $25,000 at $1.45 on him. I don't think they had too many fears. Here's the judge's call.
Second, 5 Woodley Legend, and third, 9 Captain Peacock. Fourth has gone to 8 Unico Rose, from 4 Ideal Arden and 7 Fair Dinkum Bromac. 2, 5, 9, 8, 4, 7. The margin's a neck. 1 length, 3/4 of a length, a neck. The winner's time was 3:18.2, a mile rate of 2:02.6. The last 857.2, the 427.7.
There's a result there. Number 2, Major Bubbles, 140, 110. 5 Woodley Legend at 4.30 and 9 Captain Peacock, $2.10. 12.50 Quinella, 94.60 Trifecta, 2598 first 4, 399.50. Major Bubbles and Dexter Dunn. There we go, taking out the third leg of the pick. 6, 8, 2 and 2, 3,819.16 units. After that 40,000, and that certainly didn't knock out too many, and we wouldn't expect that it would have. Into the bird cage. Oh no, he's back out to the stables. Get the hose down, and back on the float and back home for a feed. on this cold winter's night here at Addington Raceway. Righto, the Flair Stakes C5s are going around. A lot of these competed in the heats for the South Island champs last week. Opawa Zara was one of them, and it was a bit unlucky. Up 0.6 of a kilo, 2.4, 1.2, 280 for the win. Didn't quite catch that place divvy. Number 5, Blitzing Mayhem, 2.6 with bookmakers, $2.90 on the tote. We'll have a look at Opawa Zara's run for 4th in the heats of the South Island champs. Comes out of box 3 and chases the leaders, and when they swing for home, just sort of gets cut off and was going to get probably, first or second.
And Janik's the leader. Janik in front of Big Danger Lady Shambi. She's sitting pretty. 3 lengths away. Here comes Opawa Zara. They're followed after a gap there by Corbin Warbert on the corner. Janik still kicking. Janik, Lady Shambi, Opawa Zara. They race down the straight, but Lady Shambi will beat Corbin War. Then we've got along the inside Botany Kevin. Then we've got Opawa Zara followed there by Janik. A little gap there to the others headed by.
Righto, there we go. That was Opawa Zara winning the, or being unlucky in the heat of the South Island champs last week. Comes out of box 1 in this, and should be pretty, very, very hard to beat. The pink versus the red, 135 for Opawa Zara. That's, I would say, pretty handy money, Andy. Just hearing through that the inquiry at the trots into 4th placing there. So the inquiry into 4th, there was a breach of the push-out rule. So the Stipes looking at that. Provisional placings, 2, 5, 9 and 8. All right, so Andy, how are we looking here? It's a match race, 1 versus 5, is it?
On paper, it does look that way, doesn't it, Craig? I mean, they're the 2 class animals of the field, and they're both racing in good form. I think it's going to come down to early luck in the running. If Blitzing Mayhem can take a flyer and get to the lead, then he becomes the one to beat. If Opawa Zara gets a beautiful run up the rails, which I think she could, barring Popstar Rocket cutting her off, well, then she becomes the one to beat. So I think it's going to be just a bit of racing luck around that first bend, and whoever gets the best of it's probably going to be the winner.
All right, I just missed your selections here. 1, 5, 6 and 3 for Trev. I'm 1, 5, 3 and 6, and you're 1, 5, 3 and 8. So we're all agreeing on Opawa Zara here, with the local knowledge, I guess, over Blitzing Mayhem, who's made the trek down. Although, you know, Blitzing Mayhem's only had the 1 start here, and it was a winning run, a handy time, 30.50.
You know, it was a good run, Craig, and before that he had a trial around here as well, so certainly knows the place well enough, and he's a seasoned race dog now, isn't he? So they tend to cope with the travelling a bit better and that, and you know, he's certainly not out of it. If, like I said, whoever gets the better run around that first bend becomes the one to beat, I think.
What about a dog like Corborn Phillip, Andy? I mean, on his day, he's a good dog, good competitor. He's gone 30-34 here. He's jumped all right his last couple of starts, just hasn't been able to go on with it.
You know, certainly a dog with ability, Craig, and as you'll see him walking out there, he's usually strapped up to the 9, so he's obviously had a few injury problems plaguing him throughout his career. But, I mean, when he started off, he sort of looked like he was going to be a really handy dog, and he sort of hit the top grade, and obviously those injury problems kicked in. But he's actually drawn to go a handy race. I mean, he's probably my 5th one in. He's sort of drawn out where he wants to be, and Opawa Nowhere is not renowned for its early speed, and Blitzing May and Popstar Rocket are both going to go to the fence. So as long as he misses Harlem Harker, he could end up getting a pretty handy sort of a run early on. Yeah, well, Harlem Harker jumps pretty good too, doesn't it? It was 3rd to Dream Collector in the heats for the South Island champs, albeit about 8 lengths behind. That's at $9, $7.40 on the tote. Some sort of, you've got it in for 4th? I chucked it in for 4th, Craig. He's a sort of dog, if he can get across him, and it's a big if, he is a half a chance. I mean, he's got a bit of early speed. Box 8 is just not where he wants to be at all. He does like to get down to the rail, so he's going to have to do a wee bit of work. But if he can get down to the rail and be in front, well, he's half a chance.
And I mean, Stolen Money's been going some good honest races in C5 as well. So I suppose the fear with Stolen Money is Popstar Rocket jumps and likes to hit across, doesn't it? You know,
he could cop a bit of a beating early. I chucked him in for 3rd, Stolen Money. You know, he's certainly up to these. I don't know if he can win it. I don't know if he can beat the 1 or the 5, but he's certainly in for a place chance anyway.
All right, well, we're a couple of minutes over start time on this one. The Greyhounds are nearly down to the boxes. Good win pool here too, Andy. 21,000 in there so far.
Yeah, good to see the old Greyhounds taking over a bit of bit of money there, and you know, it's a good old race, a good even race, so no reason why it shouldn't be.
Yeah, Trev, we'll head up to you. Race 11 on the card, and it does look like a bit of a match race between Power Zara and Blitzing Mayhem.
Yeah, it does on paper, doesn't it, Craig? Power Zara's got the inside and Blitzer Mayhem's drawn in box 5. I'm just wondering what's going to lead here. You've got, you know, the likes of Not a No from box 2 with early speed. Stolen Money likes to lead. Popstar Rocket will probably zip out. And then you've got the likes of Harlem Haka, which will be getting across from wide out. So it's going to be a good battle early. You know, I think the end result, I don't think any of those will be winning. I think it'll be between Power Zara and Blitzer Mayhem myself. Power Zara just sort of got a checkered old run into the home straight the other night and probably wouldn't have won the race, but certainly cost it running second, I thought. And 4 very good wins prior to that, so it's gone a 30 and 37 around here. So I'll stick with the Power Zara. Blitzer Mayhem, of course, the Auckland Derby winner. It's only been here once for a win, and that's more than capable of winning this race, Blitzer Mayhem. And Power No Air, I thought, would be finishing on better than most. It's run a couple of handy fourths in the last couple, so watch for him to be charging home late. And 3 Stolen Money. So it's going to be a good battle for the lead. They are boxing away. This is race number 11. The Flair Stakes over the 520. Power Zara, Stolen Money, Blitzer Mayhem and Corporal Phillip. Not a No, Popstar Rocket, Power No Ear and Harlem Haka up on the outside. Tote favourite is Power Zara, $2.60. And the last couple have been positioned. The green light is through to the control tower. The bunny set in motion and they're about to jump in race number 11. Already. And racing, Power Zara fairly away, one of the best out of Power No Ear, and also driving through there we've got Blitzer Mayhem, and that'll charge across and grab the lead. Blitzer Mayhem followed there by Power No Ear, nice and handy, and going around the down on the inside rather, Popstar Rocket right there and coming around to Power Zara, 3 lengths away, Not a No, there followed back we go, Corporal Phillip, little gap, Stolen Money up the back, Harlem Haka turning for home, but away goes Blitzer Mayhem, and the Northern is going to run them into the deck here. It's up by about 4. Will get home to beat a Power No Ear, third of Power Zara. There's a gap of 3 or 4 back there to Corporal Phillip. Along the inside, Popstar Rocket. The rest were headed further back there by Stolen Money, and Not a No towards the tail there with Harlem Haka. Very strong win here by 5, the yellow Blitzer Mayhem. Blitzer Mayhem the winner. It loves this track. It's been here twice for 2 wins. Won the Auckland Derby last Sunday, and it's absolutely dealt to them. 5 yellow Blitzer Mayhem. And this Black Dog by Vapor World and Anonna's Girl is raced by S. Clark, P. Dwyer and B. Fremantle and trained by Steve Clark at Maramarua Forest. It's been a very, very good win by Blitzer Mayhem in race 11. And to wrap it all up, let's join Pete Rosanowski with the official result.
And we have the result now of race 11, the Flair Stakes. 5, 6, 1, 7, 4, 2, 3, 8. The winner is number 5, Blitzing Mayhem. Second, number 6, Power No Ear. Third, 1, Power Zara. The fourth placing to number 7, Corporal Phillip. The winning time, another good time, 30.14. The sectionals, 5.83, 17.88 and 12.26. The margins, 4.5 lengths, 2 lengths, 5 3/4 lengths and a head. So race 11's gone to number 5, Blitzing Mayhem.
Yeah, number 5. It makes it 3
back
in a
at
row.
Alexandra Park, race number 7 tonight, the Mazda Field Days Mobile Pace. This is for the class 2 to 5 paces, and it's produced a really nice field here. Mighty Flying Major up from the south of the Canberra, chasing his 4th win. He's a fixed odds favourite. 350, 440 on the tote for the Jeff Small train number 1, Zeta Bromac. Second favourite at the moment, 450 and $1.80. Brett Mangos, inquiry not being proceeded with in the last, so that is clear to pay. Brett Mangos has the drive on horse number 8, Alma Hanover. This is what he had to say. Mango, you drove Alma Hanover last week, first run at the park. What did you make of his effort?
Yeah, I didn't think too bad, well, to be fair. You know, it was a good field the other night, and he was just coming back off a trip from Blenheim, I think he was. So, look, he's pretty well this week. He seems good, but he's drawn 8 out of 8. So, look, he's probably going to have to go back. And, yeah, one to probably follow, though, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
That's Brett Mangos on Alma Hanover. Of course, those colours defeated in the last race on Idle Bones by a very short margin. Rare Opportunity just getting the better of Idle Bones, but she'll keep for another day. And Elmer Hanover, the stablemate, goes round in race number 7. 5, 6, 1 and 7 at the Dogs. Race number 11, Blitz and Mayhem, 250-120. Opawa No Air, 210. Opawa Zara, 160. Quinella, 5 and 6, 13.90. Trifecta, 5, 6, 1, 68.20. First 4, 5, 6, 1 and 7, $312.90. I put 7 Chief Thundercloud on top for Tony Hurley here. Very good fourth last week behind Sia Mac. Paced its last mile in 1:59. Home in 57. Last quarter was 27.6. Normally he's on the speed. He came from a long way back last week. He has got very good gate speed. Crossed him at Auckland 3 starts ago from barrier 7. Interesting to see if they go forward on him tonight. Chief Thundercloud, 5:10, 190. Thought he could win here. Who Dares wins a main danger. Racing very well for Lynn and Andrew Neal. Mighty Flying Major, his biggest test to date. He's coming from the maidens to the C1s, now taking on horses that have won 4 and 5 races. Got to go in the mix for Peter Ferguson and Ken Barron. And I put 2 Royal Council in here. Nice draw. She has got gate speed. Over race last week and probably undid herself. I thought from barrier number 2, James Stormont takes the drive. Will race on the pace and certainly a first 4 chance. I marked them 7, 5, 6 and 2. Aaron's numbers, he's going here with Royal Council on top to beat 5 Mighty Flying Major, 7 Chief Thundercloud and 3 Heart of Jesse. And just on Heart of Jesse, through from the Stipes, she is in season at the moment. Andrew Grant, the trainer, just notified the Stipes that horse 3, Heart of Jesse, in season. Now, they usually go one way or the other. They either race very well or pretty ordinary. Not sure how she'll go, Heart of Jesse, in season for race number 7 tonight. Drivers' Challenge, leader on 7 points at the moment, and that's Brett Mangos, 7 points in the Drivers' Challenge. Aaron White, good fill for the Class 2 to 5 paces. You've put 2 Royal Council on top.
Yeah, and I made her a special too. She finally gets a draw, Royal Council, the Southland Oaks winner. You've got to go collect filly, James Stormont. She's been doing it from awful draws since coming up here to the north. And barrier 2 tonight. James Stormont has plenty of options here, so I'll put the asterisk next to her, the 2. We put in the 5 Mighty Flying Major. Yes, it is his biggest test. Tough for a 2-year-old to take on some of these, but he's classy enough, and that win last week was very, very good. 7 Chief Thundercloud, after being placed in the, or 4th in the Winter Cup last week, he's well in the mix. And we'll put in the 3 Heart of Jesse, who was runner-up in the Thames Cup prior to winning. Mazda Field Days Mobile Pace to open the quaddie tonight. First leg of another double as well. Mighty Flying Major. And $3.60. Now tightens in to be the favourite. The 7 Chief Thundercloud at $481.50. 2 Royal Council, $490, $160. 1 Zeta Bromac, $5.10 and $1.80. Into the lane they come. Mazda Field Days Mobile Pace 2200. The green light is up, they're off, and Zeta Bromac shows very good gate speed to have the early lead over Heart of Jesse. Chief Thundercloud is coming forward. Royal Council's in behind, to its outside Mighty Flying Major as they make the stables corner. Hot and Saucy back with Who Dares wins, and Elmer Hanover restrained from his wide draw to be the last. Zeta Bromac wants the lead. Chief Thundercloud will race her early. 1800 left to go. Hurley looking for the lead as they work into the back. This lead time will be okay. They're away by 2 lengths. Heart of Jesse on the outside of Royal Council as Chief Thundercloud does get down to the markers and lead. 2 lengths away in the field there. Mighty Flying Major has the 1-1. Royal Council, James Stormont, he tried to ease to get the back of Heart of Jesse, but he couldn't get there. So he's had to be content to be 3 back on the inside, followed through by Hot and Saucy. To her outside is Who Dares wins, and Elmer Hanover the last in a lead time of 41.2. They sweep across the showgrounds turn, and Chief Thundercloud leads. Here's the 2-year-old though. Mighty Flying Major up on the outside. Peter Ferguson, he ranges up, and in fact he'll take the lead as they work into the lane. Zeta Bromac now 3 back on the inside. Heart of Jesse Park. Royal Council now has 1-1 cover. Hot and Saucy over on the inside, and the last pair, Who Dares wins, who's got the back of Royal Council, and Elmer Hanover back last. 31 and 7 was was the opening quarter of the final mile. Mighty Flying Major, the son of Art Major, leads them on to the stables corner. Their final time leading by a length. Heart of Jesse parked around Chief Thundercloud. Royal Council, she's had a pretty good run in transit here for Jimmy Stormont 1-1. Zeta Bromac tucked away on the inside as Who Dares Win starts a 3 wide run. Elmer Hanover on his back and Hot and Saucy back last. 31 6 the second quarter. Speed goes on again. Mighty Flying Major. Who Dares Wins comes up strongly. 3 wide around Heart of Jesse. Chief Thundercloud is trailing. Out wider Elmer Hanover. Royal Council now eased onto the 3 wide line by Stormont. Zeta Bromac on the inside looking to clear a pocket. And back last is Hot and Saucy. 400 to go. Third quarter 28 2. This 2-year-old's travelling beautifully. Mighty Flying Major away by 3. Who Dares Wins and Chief Thundercloud. Elmer Hanover. Zeta Bromac. Royal Council, Mighty Flying Major. He's 4 lengths in front at the 150. Coming hard, Elmer Hanover. Zeta Bromac on the passing lane. Then Who Dares Wins 100 to go. Mighty Flying Major. He's got plenty to learn. He's 3 and 4 lengths in front. You won't see too many 2-year-olds take on this grade and beat them like that. Mighty Flying Major, unbeaten in 4 runs under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Zeta Bromac in for second. Then Elmer Hanover. Chief Thundercloud. They were followed by Who Dares Wins. Further back, Royal Council, Hot and Saucy. And back last was Heart of Jesse, 29 and 1 the final quarter, 241.9 the overall. In winter conditions and still wanting to do a few things wrong. There's Art Major, 2-year-old colt. Ken Barron, the trainer at West Melton. Peter Ferguson, he'll go back to back on the program. And Mighty Flying Major. Boy, you don't see too many 2-year-olds come up into C2 to 5 win company and give them a hiding. And that's what he's done. Zeta Bromac second, Elmer Hanover for third, and Who Dares Wins will be the fourth over. Mazda Field Days mobile pace to a very impressive 2-year-old, Mighty Flying Major.
Official placings, race 7, the Mazda Field Days mobile pace. 518672. 518672. Horse 5, Mighty Flying Major, paced the 2200 metres in a great time for a 2-year-old of 241.91. A mile rate of 158.4. Last 857.3. The 429.1. The margins 4 3/4 lengths, 3/4 of a length, 3 lengths. 518672. Race 7, the Mazda Field Days mobile pace.
5, Mighty Flying Major back at the head of the field. Raced by Thompson Bloodstock Limited, Ken Barron, the trainer at West Melton, and Peter Ferguson back at the head of the field. Remains unbeaten here at Alexandra Park in 4 runs, Mighty Flying Major. After things went wrong on Jules Day, he's certainly making up for that in spade loads here under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Mighty Flying Major. A Art Major 2-year-old bay colt out of Fleet's Pocket, bred by Lex and Heather Williams. And that's career win 4 at start number 12 for Mighty Flying Major. David Hodge down there, part of the victory celebrations from Mazda. And along with him, Auckland Trotting Club steward Murray Goldsworthy also in attendance. 1, Zeta Bromac for second, the Mark 3 Bay 3-year-old filly out of Zonte Beach, raced by B.S. McCardle, along with Mrs. L.A. Fabry and Mrs. L. Philpott. Jeff Small trained at Patamahoe, Zach Butcher. 8, Elmer Hanover. In for third, Armbro Operative, 5-year-old Bay Gelding out of El Murray, raced by D.P. McHugh and P.M. Ellis. Brent Mangos doing the driving for Kaiapoi trainer Paul Ellis. 5, Mighty Flying Major, $3.40 and $1.50, $3.40 and $1.50. 1, Zeta Bromac, $1.90, $1.90, and 8, Elmer Hanover, $5.70, $5.70. Quinella, $9.40, $9.40. Trifecta, $178 even, $178. First four, $1,356.80, $1,356.80.
Backed all day, $9. The opening quote with the book this morning into $4.80. Has a good barrier draw, and Dexter and Kevin Townley, of course, have a pretty good sort of a combination. Jean Sebastian inside back row, a lot will determine his chances. By the way, Innes Boys gets out. I'm not quite sure. Now with Greg Payne, formerly in the north with Sean McCaffrey, was fourth at Cambridge last week. And that's about the field for the Cablecraft Christchurch Mobile Trot. This is the trap leg, Mark. This is the one most will be nervous about, I think.
Fair call too, Greg. 5 to beat 9 for me. I thought it was a race in 2. If they both did everything right, the 9's gate speed's going to help it. 13 Pristine and 7 Hell of a Hanover. If it can just get a good enough trip, it does have a nice turn of foot, but she just needs to be in the right spot turning in to be able to show that. So 5, 9, 13 and 7 for race number 8. Inquiry into 4th in the previous race, not proceeded with for that possible breach of the push-out rule. Obviously, there was nowhere near a breach of the push-out rule because it was not proceeded with rather quickly. Whistle's gone for race 8, about to come forward. It's $4.50 for number 5. That is Don's Me Dad. Blair Orange with the drive for Mike Austin. Dunker comes up, Awesome Jogmar, Christmas Joyella, Pristine and Cheeky Charlie, Gin Rummy, Monkey Luck, and I'm not quite sure. Innes Boys drawn the inside, and Jean Sebastian. Cablecraft Christchurch Mobile. League 2 of the quaddie. To be alive, you need the favourite. The step upper. Number 2, Major Bubbles. Every time he needs to step up, he does, and he did again tonight. Very promising horse. This is race 8. Mobile Trot, 1950. Intriguing little encounter this. And the gate to the back. Set to run. Now 50 metres off a release. Innes Boys, Gin Rummy ready. Nail Rouge is right. Monkey Luck. Set to run. Green light. And they're racing. Gate speed, Awesome Jogmar. Galloping out, Hell of a Hanover. Monkey Luck slightly inconvenienced when it did. Awesome Jogmar is going to press on and looked across Don's Me Dad. Innes Boys into a gallop on their inside. Gin Rummy races handy. Nail Rouge makes a line of 4 around the first turn. 3 lengths away in 5th spot is I'm Not Quite Sure, and 2 to Shell Seeker. About 3 to Innes Boys trotting again from Cheeky Charlie Dunker. And then Christmas Joyella, Jean Sebastian, Monkey Luck, 2 to Pristine, and 12 lengths to Hell of a Hanover. 24.9 for the lead time. It's been pretty keen early, and Don's Me Dad assumes control by a length and a half on the trailing Gin Rummy. I'm Not Quite Sure's running 3rd, and Awesome Jogmar is parked around Innes Boys. Ale Rouge ducked in for some 1-1 cover, but left that spot when Dunker was 3 wide pressing forward. Then came Shell Seeker. Jean Sebastian from Pristine, Cheeky Charlie. And Christmas Joyella, Monkey Luck, and Hell of a Hanover tacks on. Don's Me Dad and Ale Rouge turn out of the straight together, and Don's Me Dad is going to let Ale Rouge go here. Gin Rummy's running 3rd, and I'm Not Quite Sure park 4th. 3 wide Dunker, and 4 back the inside as Innes Boys. 3 wide and 1 back. Pristine from John Sebastian. Awesome Jogmar between horses. Then came Christmas Joyella, Hell of a Hanover. Next Monkey Luck. Shell Seeker's getting carried back through the field by the tiring Awesome Jogmar. And Cheeky Charlie is last. First quarter 32.4. Near the 700 metre mark, and it's Ale Rouge by a length on Gin Rummy, who left the inside Debris. Leaders back, Don's Me Dad, waiting for the Stun and Cullen at Pineleaf Farm passing lane. 3 wide and 4th, Dunker. Then I'm not quite sure, Rinnis Boys, Pristine. Hell of a Hanover, Jean Sebastian, Monkey Luck, Shell Seeker, Awesome Jogmar, Cheeky Charlie and 4 lengths to Christmas Joyella, who went for a gallop midway down the back stretch but is trotting again near the quarter peg. Ale Rouge leads by a length over Gin Rummy. Don's Me Dad camped on the back of the leader, 3 wide Dunker. No run, I'm not quite sure. And then came Minus Boys and Pristine. Around the home turn they come, 2.75 to go. Third quarter 30.3, and it's Ale Rouge out by a couple. Don's Me Dad leaves the trail. Innes Boys has come to third from Dunker, but it's Ale Rouge at 100 metre mark out by 2 lengths. Don's Me Dad will run the Quinella spot. Innes Boys has gone for a gallop. Pristine or Jean Sebastian for third, but Ale Rouge wins it. Beats Don's Me Dad. Pristine third, John Sebastian fourth, and then Dunker. Shell Seeker didn't have much luck. Further back Innes Boys, who was a trifecta hope when it galloped at the 100. Gin Rummy, Hell of a Hanover, I'm not quite sure. Further back, Monkey Luck, Cheeky Charlie, Christmas Joyella had that gallop down the back and beating Awesome Jogmar. Last quarter, 29.3, 23.8 for the last mile. And it's 9, 5 and 13. 9 Ale Rouge, 371, 70 Robbie Holmes. 5 Don's Me Dad, 160 and Pristine. The 13 will pay $2.40. Had to do a bit of work at the first turn. Line of 4 going around the first bend. Found a trailing spot down the lane the first time. Robbie was able to get out and around and grab control of the race. The stables turned, and from there they couldn't catch him with Ale Rouge. Don's Me Dad second. Pristine has run third. First turn, quite a spectacle, Greg. 4 of them in a row over the 1950, pretty keen early.
Yeah, it was. Every time you think a race is going to be a banana skin, out come the 2 you think are going to dominate, and this horse, once it got the front, was in the right spot, loves the 1950. Robbie Holmes knows it very well, gelding by Love You out of Donna Wiz, bred by Jenny Becker, and it is now 3 from 29. Just cruising at the top of the straight. Don's Me Dad, well, it was in that early burn, and they were flying, breaking 25 seconds for that opening sectional. That's good going, and it's fought on pretty solidly, this mare. She's racing very well. Pristine making up good ground ahead of John Sebastian.
Second 5 Don's Me Dad, and third 13 Pristine. Fourth has gone to 10 Jean Sebastian, from 4 Dunker and 1 Innes Boys. 9, 5, 13, 10, 4, 1. The margin's 4 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths, a neck half a length. The winner's time was 2:28.4, a mile rate of 2:02.5. The last 859.2, last 429.1.
Back at the head of the field comes the Alabar sponsored driver Robbie Holmes. 370, 170, Ale Rouge. Don's Me Dad, 160. Pristine making up good ground, 240. 610 the Quinella. 86.70 your trifecta. 9, 5, 13 and 10. John Sebastian in fourth position, 574.10. 574.10. Double 2 and 9, 330. 2.5 concession has paid $1.80. Of course, Major Bubbles was the first leg of that double. And pick 6, where are we at? 680.20, 680.20, 8, 2, 2 and the 9. Race number 9 here at Harness Headquarters in the south is the Cavill Leach Young at Heart Series Heat number 2 over the 1950. Underway at 9:45. Short break, other side. We'll get back with the Greyhound boys.
Welcome back to Addington Raceway, the last on the card in the Greyhound Code. About to get underway. It's the Spates Sprint Class 5 Greyhounds running around here. Mr. Whippy, number 5, 2 and 1.3, 180, 230 for the place for Callum Weir and Stacey Nissen. Going to be very hard to beat, isn't it, Andy? It has been in good form lately.
You know, he's been going good. He's always been a good dog. Mr. Whippy's a grand dog campaigner, isn't he? And no reason why he can't continue on with his winning way here.
Terra Annie down 1.1, number 3 for Bruce Dan. That's at 5 and 1.5, 7 and 180 on the tote, so a wee bit better there. You quite like this dog, don't you?
She's a greyhound with a lot of ability, Craig. Unfortunately, her last start she did do a Gracilis. She's had 2 trials back since then. 2 weeks ago she clocked a 17.56, and on Monday here much better, a 17 and 29. And I mean, if you know, a bit of improvement again off that trial, and that's certainly right in contention here, isn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, Gracilis muscle. It's in the back leg of the greyhounds, and it's probably the equivalent to a human's hamstring. Not a good injury for a greyhound to have. There are different levels of tears. A small tear down low is okay. Sometimes they drop the muscle away. That makes it a bit tough. They lose a bit of speed. I've gone Mr. Whippy on top, 5, 4, 3 and 6. I chucked old Katurin for fourth, old number 6. Oh, I don't know. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of early speed too, Andy, but he runs about 25 million wide around the bend. You know, just blows any chance he has, really, doesn't he, when he swings the bend for home. And sort of hard to do that when you're up against the likes of Mr. Whippy and Terra Annie and Sting Me even, who went good last week and behind, or 2 weeks ago, and behind Sozen's Comet. So hard to give them a chance around their bend, isn't it? Yeah, actually, Sting Me, we talked about that earlier on. Great money, isn't it? Yeah, number 4. It's at $13 on the tote, $16 with the bookmakers. Very good effort last start. When a wee bit on the fresh side, second to Sozen's Comet, beaten 2 lengths at 17.24. Wasn't super fast for that grade, but it was the fastest time of the night. So Sting Me, definitely worth putting in your combos. But they are boxing away, so we'll head to you, Trev, for the last on the card.
Yeah, thanks there, Craig. Boxing up, 5, 7, 4, 3 for me. I think if this favourite does jump, it'll be very hard to beat, wouldn't it, Mr. Whippy? The last couple have been positioned. Green light is through, and the bunny set in motion. They're about to jump in the final event. Set, ready. And racing, Pills Boy slow, so is No Jealousy. Best out, Terra Annie, and round the outside, Mr. Whippy followed a couple of lengths away by running third, Kuttup, but it wants to go wide. Getting up on the inside, Pills Boy there, followed down on the inside, Butterbean around the quarter. Mr. Whippy dashes along the inside to grab the lead or get home. Terra Annie, Pills Boy. Then in photos, T-Predator Charger along the inside, Butterbean. They're followed out wider there by. The next there, I think, might have been No Jealousy. Sting Me was in that bunch, and out very wide, Kuttup towards the tail. There's the running of race 12, and he's been too good, Mr. Whippy. Terra Annie showed plenty and zipped out to the front. She's returning after a gracilis muscle injury, and she just might have wandered off the track too, coming around the home good. To be fair, Mr. Whippy had her mastered by the time they got to the bend, and she just wanted to go out wide. She was under a bit of pressure, wasn't she? But she kept going. She'll finish second, and then Pills Boy third, and then we had the line up between the 8 or the 6 out wide and the 7 between them. But no doubt Mr. Whippy, just too much class for the others. And Mr. Whippy, the white dog by Bit Chilly, out of Thrilling Pearl, is raced by Cullum and Gary Ware. Cullum Ware and Stacey Nissen, the trainers at Rangiora. That wraps up a very, very good night. And congratulations to the both group winners, the connections of Dream Collector and also the connections of Lock and Var Brando. It's been a wonderful night of greyhound racing. I've enjoyed calling in, and we'll be joining Craig and Andy in just a moment. But just before we do, a quick wrap with Pete. Good night to you all.
Thank you, Trevor. Here we go with the last for the greyhounds, race 12. It is the Spates Sprint. 5, 3, 9, 6, 8, 7, 4, 2. The winner, number 5, Mr. Whippy. Second, number 3, Terra Annie. Third, 9, Pearls Boy. The fourth placing to number 6, Ketut. The winning time was 17.17. The lead up was 5.79. The run home 11.38. Margins 4 lengths, half a length, 1 length, half a head. So there's the last for the greyhounds, and the winner is number 5, Mr. Whippy. It's a big night for us here tonight with the Group 1 and Group 2 racing. My thanks to Jimmy, to Nikki, to Graham, to Karina and Rachel upstairs as well, and even to Mark, who assisted us on one particular occasion as well. Thank you, Mark. So, until next Tuesday from the judges' box for the Greyhounds, it's good night to you all.
Righto, race 12, the result through number 5, Mr. Whippy, 191.20. Just incidentally too, that brings up Callum and Stacey's 100 wins for the season, so congratulations to them. 3 Tirani at 189, Pearl's Boy 120, Quinella pays 420, 18.90 the try, first 4, 5, 3, 9 and 6, $193.10, the double 5 and 5, favourite double 390, 5-3 concession 330, treble 1, 5 and 5, 32.10, quaddy 7, 1, 5 and 5, 184.50, and the place 6, $74.10. That wraps up the night's racing here for the Greyhound Code at Addington Raceway, and we'll head back to you, Craig, for some more trotting action.
Yeah, thanks, Craig, for your help tonight at the Dogs at Christchurch. Race number 8 at Alexandra Park tonight. This is drawn in maiden field here, but there's plenty of depth in this maiden field. 3 nice horses here making their debut. Runners 1, 4 and 8. Crockett's Cullen has come up 220 on the book. He was as short as $1.90 this morning. I saw him trial here a couple of weeks ago. Very impressive winning that trial. Brett Mangos has the inside draw. He takes on debut runners Rycroft, who's been very good at the trials, and Better Mac. Brett Mangos takes the drive on Crockett's Colour, and this is what he had to say about his stable runner. Mango, your maiden going round in race number 8 today, the debut runner Crockett's Cullen. From what I've seen today, he's looked very good. Comes up with barrier number 1. A workout winner here a couple of weeks ago. Looks a lovely 2-year-old. Yeah. He's just, he's a lovely colt, I expect him to improve a lot with 2 or 3 races under his belt, but I just think natural ability, he won't be far away. Tony's horse, I think it'd be very, very hard to beat. He's trialled extremely well, I thought. So, whether he's got the ring craft or not, I'm not sure, but probably Tony's one coming in the same boat, both first starters, and should be a good race. Inside draw, what's his gate speed like, mate? I've never really bothered too much at the trials, but he's a great pacer, and I don't think it'll be an issue. He's a little bit wayward on the occasion that at the workouts a couple of weeks ago, just put in an odd rough one. He's a nice horse. He's got a little bit to learn, but ability-wise it's there at the moment. As Mango said, the ring craft, not 100% right, but is getting there. And Crockett's Cullen, $2 favourite, race number 8 tonight. Morris McHenry drives another debut runner, Better Mac, horse number 4. Morris should drive one for Bunty in the 8th, and Better Mac, pretty well named Better Mac, with Mac aboard. Nice maiden, first up. Picks a pretty strong field to debut in. Yeah, he's every trial he's sort of got better and better, and he gets out of the gate good, and he's a big, long horse, a striding horse, and he's got a wee bit of a future. I think he's sort of kept improving, and he's not the worst in this field. Like Mango's horse goes good, and Tony's Hurley's horse goes good too, so they'll be the ones to beat. But he's first starter, but he's definitely a show. Is he one of these horses that I think the punters can mark down if he goes through the winter, that he'll pick up a race at short notice? Yeah, I think even next year he could be a handy horse. He's a big fella, and probably lacks a wee bit of strength, but he's what he's done you'd have to like at this time. 3 completely different types of 2-year-olds. This one on screen at the moment, Better Mac. You can see he's going to make a really nice 3-year-old. He covers the ground. As Morris said, he's probably a little bit weak, but he is a big 2-year-old, and he's trialled up nicely. The other 2, Crockett's Cullen, well, he looks to be a little bit of a natural 2-year-old. He's a little bit more nuggety, a chunky type, and the horse outside him at the moment, the son of Al Sue, he just looks a racy type. So 3 completely different types, but all got a lot of ability. Runners 1, 8 and 4, splitting them. Horse 2, She Don't Love Me. Well, he's had race day experience. He's had 3 starts, 3 times in the money, including a good second last week. And barrier 2 here's not a bad draw, trained by Stephen Reid and Simon McMullen, and of course Peter Ferguson chasing a hat-trick of wins. Aaron's marked them 8, 1, 4 and 2. Aaron, as I come to you 2 minutes out from race number 8 tonight, this is going to be a very good form race. I suggest horses that run 3rd, 4th, they'll go on to win races at short notice.
Races, Craig, if not in the next couple of months, from what we've seen from some of these on race day, and of course our 3 debutants here. I'm with the debutants. I've gone the way of Rycroft, the Elsu Gelding. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver, rated by the 2 scratchings, now comes into barrier 6. when this horse qualified back at Pukekohe on the 4th of June. And that race was a horse called Connoisseur, one of the best debutants we've seen here at Alexandra Park. Well, Connoisseur ran third to this horse Rycroft, so you've got to put plenty of weight on that. $4.30 and $2. One Crockett's Cullen, the trial form around the son of Christian Cullen's been good. Gets the ideal draw, Brent Mangos. We'll put in the 4 Better Mac. His trial victories have been pretty smart as well, Morris McKendry. And yes, She Don't Love Me did a good job in a very hot field off a second row draw last Friday night, Peter Ferguson. 8, 1, 4 and 2. There's 7 horses in this race, Craig. Take out the winner, write down the other 6, put them in your horse tracker because they will win races.
Really good field, isn't it, Aaron? Of course, Spider Murphy, we haven't talked about him. He chased home Connoisseur in that debut run, albeit beaten 9 lengths. His trial form leading to that run has been good and underworked. I thought was a nice run last week. Come from a long way back in the hands of Sean Grayling. Sean's had a winner already tonight in the junior drivers race number 3 tonight aboard Ideal Flyby. So the stable going well and underworked. $20 for a horse that's been in good form, but that's just the depth of this field. A few of these 2-year-olds, they'll go on to be early 3-year-olds in some of these stakes races for the 3-year-olds early in the season. So I think this is going to be a very, very good form race. Horses, as I say, coming out of this race will go on to perform very quickly and suggest that there'll be plenty of individual winners coming out of this race. I marked them 1 Crockett's Cullen on top with good manners. I think he's the horse to beat. 2 She Don't Love Me, 8 Rycroft and 4 Better Mac. Nice field for race number 8. First leg of the treble, second leg of the quaddie. The first leg of the quaddie taken out.
2200 metre dispatch. Thanks, Craig. And this the Jacobson Headstones mobile pace to open our final treble tonight. Treble pool up and over $5,000. Just the 7 maidens, but 7 very, very nice horses out there, including 3 debutantes that all have plenty of admirers and betting here too. The best of those being Crockett's Cullen with the draw at $2. Rycroft number 8, $3.70. Better Mac number 4 at $7.60. Alabaram into the lane. There's the Jacobson Headstones mobile pace. We're set and ready. Green light. They're often pacing. Crockett's Cullen tries to come out of barrier 1 to hold up the lead, but She Don't Love Me will cross him. And getting out strongly also is Better Mac. Crockett's Cullen just taking a stride or two to balance up here in third. Then Black Santana fourth coming through from the second line. They're followed by Underwork, Spider Murphy. And Rycroft, the Iceman, eases them off the arm to be the last of the 7. They pace out to the 1800 metres, and Better Mac and the Magic Man Morris McKendry away by 2. She Don't Love Me, 3 lengths Crockett's Cullen, 2 lengths Black Santana, followed by Underwork. Back second last is Spider Murphy, and Rycroft, he's back at the tail. 1600 to go. The lead time clicks off in 43.3 as Crockett's Cullen came away from 3 back on the markers to move forward and take the lead now off Better Mac. So the favourite Crockett's Cullen, the son of Christian Cullen. They sweep across the showgrounds turn. Brent Mangos by 2. Better Mac, 3 lengths She Don't Love Me. Peter Ferguson third. Then Black Santana Underwork comes away from the markers for Sean Grayling. Spider Murphy will take the opportunity to take the 1-1, and Rycroft in turn on the back of Spider Murphy as they work into the lane. 1200 metres left to go. Jacobson Headstones mobile pace, and Crockett's Cullen first quarter in 31. Leads a length and a half. In second, Better Mac. Then She Don't Love Me. Black Santana inching forward on the outside is Underwork. 1-1 is Spider Murphy and the Wizard Todd Mitchell. And Rycroft being patiently handled. As I say that, Hurler, he's on his bike now, coming around them 3 wide on the stables corner. 900 left to go. Crockett's Cullen leads a length and a quarter. Better Mac, She Don't Love Me. Rycroft getting right into the contest now, out 3 wide as they post the second quarter in 32.1. Black Santana 3 back on the inside of Underworked, and Spider Murphy back last. Through the back they pace. 650 left to go. Crockett's Cullen leads Rycroft by half a length, and the other debutant Better Max had a beautiful run in the trail for Morris McKendry. She Don't Love Me 1-1, then Black Santana Underworked, and still back last Spider Murphy. 500 to go. Crockett's Cullen off the back 3 quarters. Rycroft, Better Mac. Underworked starts a claim out 3 wide. Coming out in front of it is She Don't Love Love Me, Black Santana, Spider Murphy, 29 and 1, the quarter down the black. Crockett's Cullen for home. On the outside, Rycroft, Better Mac for the passing lane, then She Don't Love Me, underworked. It's Crockett's Cullen. Rycroft a half length away. He's lengthening nicely. Better Mac on the passing lane, and then She Don't Love Me. Rycroft hits the front. Better Mac on the passing lane. Rycroft, Better Mac. Oh, this has been a debut. Rycroft in nicely. Photo second. She Don't Love Me, I think, will just get it from Better Mac and then Crockett's Cullen. They were followed by Spider Murphy, underworked, and Black Santana back with those. 28 and 8, the final quarter, 244.4 on debut. The Iceman, with the ice running through the veins in race number 8 tonight, eased him off the arm, got into the race at the 1100. Got outside the leader down the back. He's pressured hard. He's had to do a bit of work on debut. The son of El Sue out of Futures So Bright. Dean Biddlecombe, Susan Hurley, Carol Aiken, along with Mrs. Day and Shevnin in the ownership. Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver. And Connoisseur was a nice winner. He beat Connoisseur in his qualifying trial. That's been a pretty good debut by him in a strong race. She Don't Love Me for second. Third over Better Mac. And in for fourth, a weakening Crockett's Cullen. Jacobson Headstones, Mobile Pace, a horse with a future. His name, Rycroft.
Official placings, race 8, the Jacobson Headstones Mobile Pace, 824-135, 824-135. Horse 8, Rycroft, paced the 2200 metres in 244.41, 244.41, the mile rate being 2 minutes, 0.2. Last 857.9 and the 428.8. The margins 1 1/4 lengths, a half head, 3 lengths. 824-135, race 8, the Jacobson Headstones Mobile Pace.
Judge Graham McLennan calling Rycroft home first. El Sue, Futures So Bright, Brown, 2-year-old gelding. Raced by Dean Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe Equine Limited, the breeders of this stunning brown gelding by El Sue, comes back at the head of the field. Also owned by Susan Hurley, Carol Aiken, Mrs. L.M. Day and Mrs. R.A. Shivnan. Congratulations to you. Very nice debut in a strong race. Back at the head of the field, the Iceman, Tony Hurley, picks up his second on the program tonight. The Mitavite Black Pike back into the victory circle. Auckland Trotting Club steward Gordon Robertson down there, part of the victory celebrations after Rycroft getting home in the 8th. 2, She Don't Love Me, posts another good placing to his career. Better's Delight Bay, 2-year-old colt out of Abbey's Bay, raced by S.J. Reid, Mrs. M.J.V. Hoggard, Emong, R.L. Crisp and Katie Odges. Stephen Reid, Simon McMullen trained at Pukekohe, Peter Ferguson. And in for third was the 4 Better Mac, a Better's Delight, Pocket Angel, brown 2-year-old colt, debuts strongly for MD Lee, F. Trapsky along with Mrs. MJ, PB Phillips along with PB Lowther and J. Stewart, Brian Hughes trained at Ardmore, Morris McKendry. 8 Rycroft at $3.60 and $1.80, $3.60, $1.80. 2 She Don't Love Me, $2.50, $2.50. And 4 Better Mac, no third dividend. Quinella, $14.60, $14.60. Trifecta, $73.70, $73.70. First 4, $125 even, $125. 5 and 8 in the double at $8, $8. 5 and 2 concession, $4.20, $4.20.
and hopes you can do the business for us again with the 9 Franco Revel. For second, it is Shire. Great story, this one. Debuted as a 7-year-old. Has won 3 from 4, including wins over Cara's Princess and Franco Caliph at its last 2. For third, we've got number 11, JC Skipper, and 10 Mighty Peruvian. As you said, not too many other drivers you'd want in the bike when drawn inside the back row. So the numbers are 9 to beat, 7, 11 and 10. About to come forward for the 9th. Heat 2 of the Cavalier Young at Heart Series. Tiana Franco, Peter Lamb and guest rider in the mobile for this one. Helen Dickey are about to get rolling. And the 12 runners will be called in for the Young at Heart Series, expanded to 5-year-olds this season too, which has seen the field sizes hold up even better than when the 6-year-olds were just the youngest age allowed in the race. Whistle's gone. Head-to-head, Shire, Franco Revel, 185 if you want to back them. Timaru Sunday, 8 races down there, 2 to come tonight.
So they'll be watching at home on TV.
Franco Revel gets ready. Maiden Rome and Shire, Arden's Attack.
Along the wall there, just about.
Tiana Franco, Betty Go Lightly, Fire Break, and Franco Hepburn, Native Gem in the Night. Back row, Mighty Peruvian, JC Skipper and Crusader Courage. 1 for Cavalier. The gate's on its way. Franco Revel, Shire ready. Gold cap here, Ricky May on Mighty Peruvian. White cap, Stevie Golding on Maiden Rome. Both members of the Greg and Nina Hope Barn. The 12 of them, 250 metres from the release point. Last check, Franco Revel the 9, 281.20. 7 Shire, $4 and 170. Mobile to the back. And they make good lines. Fire break ready. Franco Hepburn, Native Gem of the Night, drawn the pole, set to run. Racing. Fire break away, fast speed, Franco Hepburn, and down next to the inside, Native Gem of the Night punching up swiftly too. Arden's Attack going up to join the leaders. And next then is Betty Go Lightly from Franco Hepburn, who's now eased out of it and is going to drop into trail. Shire finds the running line in front of JC Skipper, and 3 wide Maiden Rome from Tiana Franco. 2 lengths Crusader Courage, and Franco Revel's gone back to last. The leader though is Native Gem in the Night over Fire Break into trail. Arden's Attack parked and Franco Hepburn 3 back the inside. 5th with a 1 out trail, Betty Go Lightly in front of Shire. Mighty Peruvians over on the pegs, and then JC Skipper. Tiana Franco the markers. Maiden Rome starts a run. Crusader Courage is on its back, and Shire's out in front to drag them both forward. And Franco Revel's last. Lead time 23.5, and the old stage is running good times here as Native Gem in the Night and Robbie Close has joined 3 up by Shire, who goes around outside the leader. Maiden Rome comes forward too. Crusader Courage on the move. Fire breaks on the pegs. Arden's Attack between horses. Franco Hepburn's on the pegs. And then Betty Go Lightly, JC Skipper passing it 3 wide, trailed by Franco Revel. Onto the train, Mighty Peruvian, and Tiana Franco as last. First quarter 31, but they were moving pretty swiftly on the turn out of the straight. Near the 800 metre mark, and it's Shire by ahead, Crusader Courage. 3 wide JC Skippers, now a neck away third from Native Gem in the Night. 3 wide Franco Revel moves up to 5th. And then came Maiden Rome, Mighty Peruvian, 3 wide and 1 back. Fire breaks on the pegs. Betty Go Lightly 3 wide from Arden's Attack, Franco Hepburn and Tiana Franco. Below the 600 metres with the second quarter 31, 462, 4 for the half. Shire by ahead, JC Skipper. 3 wide Franco Revel's a neck away from Native Gem in the Night. Mighty Peruvians followed Franco Revel everywhere from the 1,000 metre mark. And then came Betty Go Lightly. JC Skipper headed off Shire. Franco Revel's a length and a half away, but JC Skipper has a good strong kick turning in. Mighty Peruvian had room to come through between Shire and Franco Revel. The third quarter 29.6. JC Skipper 2 in front. Mighty Peruvian is trying really hard, but it's still JC Skipper. Mighty Peruvian cutting down the margin but running out of time, and JC Skipper fell in 1 at a neck. Beat Mighty Peruvian and Franco Revel. Betty Go Lightly 4th, then Maiden Rome Shire. Franco Hepburn, Tiana Franco. Further back, Fire Break, and then Arden's Attack, Crusader Courage and Native Gem in the Night. 11, 10 and 9. Gee, they're good races. 11 JC Skipper, Colin De Philippi, 690 and 220. 10 Mighty Peruvian, 190. In Franco Rivel, the 9 at $1.40. 5 from 57. Just pinched that break on the turn. Last quarter's in 28.3. The last mile in 2 minutes, 0.3. Cutting down the margin, Mighty Peruvian. But the winning post was looming up too quickly and will come up around a next short. Another very exciting race, Greg. Moves galore. And in the end, JC Skipper, who was able to get outside the leader and kept Franco Revel 3 wide from the point that it did, was able to hold off Mighty Peruvian, who followed Franco Revel everywhere. Got past it, but couldn't get past JC Skipper.
No, good game performance off the back of that second to Franco Revel in the corresponding race at Rangiora on Sunday. CJ DeFilippi driving for Peter and Leone Jones. You can see here, plugs are out. Cole says, right, we need to get rolling. We've got past Shire, and then it was the turn of Rick May. Thought his drive at Marlborough on the first day was good. This was just about as special, but not quite good enough to catch the son of Julius Caesar for the Puranui Family Trust. P.L. Thomas won 5, start 57 by Julius Caesar out of Love Connection. J.C. Skipper takes out race number 9. Ahead of Mighty Peruvian, who came at it very quickly late, but not quick enough. And Franco Revel, who just had to do too much work inside the last lap. A good effort in third. Here's the call.
J.C. Skipper, second 10 Mighty Peruvian, and third 9 Franco Revel. Fourth has gone to 4 Betty Go Lightly, from 8 Maiden Rome and 7 Shire. 11, 10, 9, 4, 8, 7. The margin's half a neck. 2 3/4 lengths, 4 lengths, 1 3/4 lengths. The winner's time was 2:23.7, a mile rate of 1:58.6. The last 857.5, the last 428.1.
So 2:23.7, fantastic time here for JC Skipper and Colin DeFilippi. Paid $6.90 and $2.20. Mighty Peruvian $1.90. Franco Revel $1.40. 19.90 the Quinella, 147.70 is your trifecta. 11.10.94, 687 even. 687 even. What's that done to pick 6? Just 94.22 live going into the final leg. Hampton's ITM Golden Edge IPL pace over the 2,600 metres. That'll be here at Addington at 10:15. On the other side, we'll set the scene for tonight's action from Kranji.
He's one of the most exciting horses in the modern era, bringing fans to their feet. A rock and roll dance was a major stakes winner at ages 2, 3, and 4, along with $2.4 million in career earnings. Not to mention, a rock and roll dance is the only horse in the world.
Welcome back to Alexandra Park, not far off race number 9, only about 11, 12 minutes away. Of course, we've got racing coming out of Kranji tonight. We're going to do weather track and scratchings for there. With a forecast 26 degrees, a high of 31. Track conditions are good, fine with light cloud in Singapore. That is a meeting 12 tonight from Kranji. Scratchings tonight, the first. The Class 5 kicking off at 20 minutes past 10, take out number 2. Race number 2, take out 13 at midnight and 14 Winfrey, all start in race number 3 tonight. Race number 4, they all start. Race number 5, all start. Race number 6, take out number 2, Good Boss. All start in the 7th and the 8th tonight at 1:55 in the morning, all start there. That's from Kranji, Singapore tonight on meeting code number 12. First tonight, favourite here is number 3, Pegasus Victory, 2:21.20. Second favourite, 4 Sacred Crown, 3.20. And third favourite, number 8, Follow the King at $5.90. That'll kick off at 20 minutes past 10 on meeting code of 12. Craig Roberts, of course, tonight their feature was the South Island Champs. They did a wrap. This is what happened earlier in the night.
Well, Andy, the night's racing was pretty good overall, really. Cold, very cold night, actually, but the times were pretty good. Night started off good. Ray Adcock, of course, he won first up with a bound, and that was the first of what was to be 3 winners for him. And Colby Magic picked up third in the South Island Champs as well.
You know, outstanding night for him, wasn't it, Craig? And, you know, old Emulate, she's been a great old brew bitch for him, hasn't she? She just keeps leaving winner after winner after winner for him, and, you know, he just loves her. Yeah. Also, of course, the minor feature of the night, the Group 2 South Island Champs, that is, was taken out by Dream Collector, and he's a bit of a phenomenon. Dave Fahey, during the training, came over from Australia, and he had 2 tickets, two failing to pursue tickets, big risk, and he was purchased, or half share was purchased off Dave Crawford. He's come over here, and he's just a freak of nature. You know, he's probably one of the best we've seen come to the country, really, isn't he, Craig? And, you know, if Dave can keep him together and keep him well, what are we going to see from him in the future? I mean, it's cold here tonight, and he's run 29.89. I mean, that's just a tick off the track record. I mean, that's flying.
Well, the run home, 12.04, and as I said earlier on, if we trial dogs here and we slip them post to post, which is probably 40 or 50 or 60 metres shorter, we're more than happy if the C5 dogs can run home in that sort of a time. So I think you'll see that Dream Collector possibly will step up over more ground later on in its career as well. I think if it does, it'll be bad luck for the rest of the stars around at the time.
Oh, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with over the 700, isn't he, Craig? I was talking to Pete Rosanowski, and officially the fastest run home here recorded at Addington over the 500, I believe he said. So that's sensational, really, for Dream Collector on a night like this, isn't it?
Yeah. And the other feature of the night, well, the big feature of the night, the Group 1 New Zealand Stars Cup, taken out by Lochinvar Brando, coming off the back of the Silver Collar win as well. Greyhound that's really flourishing over the staying journeys now, Andy.
You know, he's just come to his own, really, isn't he, Craig? And, you know, he was a good dog over the 500, but he was sort of nothing really, really special. And over the 700, they just sort of can't get near him in these big finals. I mean, the Schofields, they know how to prep them, don't they? You know, they get them right on the big days, and you know, Box 1 certainly helped. He's unbeaten there now, and, you know, Little Tegan didn't fire like she usually does, so that helped a wee bit as well. But just sensational over the staying trip, isn't he? Yeah, I think possibly could take the mantle of the best star in the country. There's probably Little Tegan's lost that mantle now, I think. You know, second runner-up in the collar and couldn't quite get the job done today, but Lochinvar Brando, there's sort of just that small pool of 3 or 4 of them with Lochinvar Brando, Thrilling Logic, who pushed it close tonight. You know, it did. It was actually a good run by Logic. Usually when he doesn't lead, he's all done, and he really, really fought hard up the straight to come back underneath Lochinvar Brando and really make it interesting in that last 50 metres.
Yeah, oh, well, that was the night's racing here at Addington Raceway.
Craig Roberts, a wrap of a big night at Addington tonight. Of course, the South Island Champs and the Stars Cup. Very, very good performance by Dreamcatcher, again, taking out their feature event tonight. Race number 9 here at Alexandra Park. We're about 6.5 minutes away. Favourite here at the moment is number 4, Katie Allen Castleton. Josh Dickey takes the drive, of course, driven by Tony Hurley last week when placed, and was a very, very good run. Off the front tonight, going to be very hard to beat again. Of course, this one, owned by Lex and Heather Williams, the 3-year-old filly, by Quite Easy. Ran second to Saffron Carlton last week, and off the front tonight, 280 the book, 340 the tote. Main danger for me, number 10, Sea Spray Cracker, was a cracker of a run last week. Was a mile off them early, made up a ton of ground. The key with her is to step away from the standing start. I take the 520 at the moment. I think she's a very, very good bet. Todd Mitchell takes to drive. She ran home in 59 seconds. Her last half last week was the best sectionals of the race. In that race was Sunny Vacation, equally as good. And Sunny Vacation's come out and won tonight. I thought the run of Sea Spray Cracker equally as good. So for me, great each way price. If I was playing it now, 5.30, horse number 10, race number 9. Dangers, definitely KDL and Castleton. I thought the back marker Saffron Castleton was good last week. And number 3, Tarn, trained by Todd McFarlane and Craig Sharp. So my numbers in race number 9 tonight. 10, Sea Spray Cracker, trained by Stephen Doody. Todd Mitchell takes the drive. 11, Saffron Castleton. 4, KDL and Castleton. And 3, Tarn. Head-to-head here, Tarn versus KDL and Castleton, option at 529. Of course, Tarn up from the south with Murray Edmonds, now with Todd McFarlane and Craig Sharp. Been very well placed here in the north and capitalising on that at the moment with a nice placing last week behind Djokovic. So certainly in the mix here. We'll try and bring up the Drivers' Challenge as well and see where we are with that. Brett Mangos and Tony Herlihy. It's led by Peter Ferguson at the moment on 9 points over Brett Mangos on 8 and Tony Herlihy on 6. So Peter Ferguson on 9 points in the Drivers' Challenge. He was a $7 quote earlier on the night in front of the two favoured drivers, Tony Herlihy and Brett Mangos. So Peter Ferguson, has he got a drive in this race? He is on horse number 9, Airwell Pegasus. And in the last, he doesn't have a drive. So he is on 9 points, Brett Mangos. He is, of course, going to drive in the last, I believe, Anna Lee, the favourite. So he can certainly get points in the last as well. So it'll be interesting to see how it go here. Of course, Airwell Pegasus, $25 shot here. Now in the north with Matthias Amalson, of course, formerly trained, I think, by Peter Davis and Margot 9. Had a run at the workouts here last Saturday and ran 3rd of 3 behind Idle Bone. So would have to improve on that run. That's why it's at a quote of $25. Aaron White's numbers 10, 4, 3 and 1. He's going Sea Spray Cracker on top to beat 4 KDL and Castleton, 3 Tarn and 1 Ivanov. Ivanov trained by Luck Chin. Of course, he's always thereabouts. Probably better suited to 2,200 than 2,700 metres, but he's been pretty consistent of late and knocking on the door. Aaron's numbers 10, 4, 3 and 1. Third leg of the quaddie. Of course, the first 2 legs of the quaddie taken out by Mighty Flying Major, and that was an outstanding performance in 2:41, probably the highlight of the night. Trained by Ken Barron. Very well placed, this horse. He's only a 2-year-old, and Ken's brought him north on, of course, on the back of the Jules run, where he put an inglorious display. He strung 4 straight wins, all of them at Alexandra Park, and by far his best run tonight, 2:41, outstanding time, just outside, I think, Border Control's New Zealand record. So Mighty Flying Major, brilliant performance tonight in the hands of Peter Ferguson. Peter's driven 3 winners. Might head upstairs and join Aaron's thoughts for race number 9 tonight. Just over 2.5 minutes out from the 9th. Aaron, Sea Spray Cracker. We saw Sunny Vacation win tonight. I thought Sea Spray Cracker equally as good in running 5th last week. And at the $5, I thought a little bit of value.
Yeah, and I think the key around her chances tonight too, Craig, the 2,700 metres I think will suit. As you know, you make a mistake over 2,200 metres, very, very hard to get back in the race, both her and, as you mentioned, of course, our winner from earlier tonight, Sunny Vacation, doing a great job after being slow away last week. I think the 2,700 metres, not so much pressure on in that first 500 metres. I think we'll see her go very close here for the Wizard Todd Mitchell and Stephen Doody, $4.80, $1.90. So I'm firmly in her camp. She certainly is risky, but well worthy of having another go tonight. 4 KDL and Castleton for Alex and Heather Williams. Of course, breeders of Mighty Flying Major, looking to get a bit of the spoils here with their Quite Easy filly, who's been performing well. It's good when runner-up last week behind Saffron Castleton, Joshua Dickey. 3 Tarn, I thought his run was very good last week too, when beaten just over a length by Djokovic. And we'll put in the 1 Ivanov. Had every chance last week, so didn't come on in the home straight. His prior form good. We'll give him a chance here, a super consistent performer. 10, 4, 3 and 1, and I did make my long shot of the night with Des Coppins on the radio earlier today, Craig. Number 8, Carwood Spur, I thought he's coming back into some sort of form. Richard Brosnan doing the driving. The money's $19 and $3.90. If Sea Spray Cracker was to do something wrong in the running here, Carwood Spur is coming back into form and could be the knockout.
Yeah, he's been on a recent downgrade, Carwood Spur, Aaron, so he's down to a C2 now. Of course, he's won 3 races. That run behind Saffron Castleton off the 10-metre handicap had merit last start because they did run along a bit. So, yeah, Cara Spur, not a bad effort to Aaron. And yeah, your logic may see it at, what, $20, $4 a place run into your first force tonight may add a little bit of value. Through from the sports desk, I can tell you the best two backed runners in this race. $5,000 on the favourite, Katie Ellen Castleton, and also $2,500 on Sea Spray Cracker. As we look at the crowd on the first floor of the member stand here at Alexandra Park, a decent crowd on the first floor, and just going through the floors later on through the Hobson Room and through the top of the park tonight, a decent crowd here at Alexandra Park. So Auckland Trotting Club will be very happy with the attendance tonight. $5,000 on the favourite, Katie Ellen Castleton, $2,500 on Sea Spray Cracker, the best two back runners. And Sea Spray Cracker, on the confidence in Aaron White-Shan, has brought it into a $3.60 favourite. $3.60, $1.90 now, and $3.20 on the book. So the money keeps coming for horse number 10. Of course, tomorrow, the France versus Germany in the quarterfinals. 205 France, Germany, $1.70. That's option 1721. In fact, Brazil, Colombia on option 1721. Brazil at 137, Colombia at 290. I think the first game kicking off around about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the second one.
Success, Phil's Folly and McConway of 10 metres, Carwodo Spur, Airwell Pegasus, Sea Spray Cracker and Saffron Castleton. Bracken Farms handicap trot. 2,700 metres, the square gators face up to our starter. Ivanov pouring the ground. Sea Spray Crackers on the journey safely. So outside of Ode to Success, they're all down and trotting as I say that. Katie Ellen Castleton and Saffron Castleton both go up in the year. And Sea Spray Cracker saw those two galloping and decided she'd go out in sympathy. So she's galloping too as they make their way around the showgrounds turn their first occasion. Sea Spray Cracker is back down and trotting. Phil's Folly, Carwodo Spur, another couple to gallop as I had my eyes on Sea Spray Cracker. Well, Sea Spray Cracker, she's only about 25 lengths off the leader, who is Ivanov, as they work into the lane their first occasion, a length and a half Tarn. 4 lengths away to Airwell Pegasus, followed by McConway, Saffron Castle and Carwodo Spur. A length and a half to 2 lengths away then to Phil's Folly, then Sea Spray Cracker. Now only 12 lengths off the leader, 2 circuits left to go, and there's 15 lengths away Katie Ellen Castleton and Ode to Success, and they might be just going around for practice, although there's not that much tempo on up front, so I think this back pair will connect on as they head out to the 1850. Ivanov and Luckchin running along in front by 2 over Tarn, and they're followed Airwell Pegasus. McConway 4th and 4 back on the inside as they run an Indian file, tracked up by Saffron Castleton, then Carwodo Spur, 3 lengths Phil's Folly, 2 lengths to Sea Spray Cracker. And there's 5 lengths away in the field to Katie Ellen Castleton. Ode to Success has galloped again, and now no chance. 1:33 and 9 the lead time for the Bracken Farms trot as they work off the back and sweep across the showgrounds turn again. And Ivanov a length and a half over Tarn. Airwell Pegasus 3rd, and 4th is McConway, followed Saffron Castleton, Zach Butcher. A length and a half Carwodo Spur. Here's Sea Spray Cracker. She starts her searching run into the race now. Phil's Folly and Katie Ellen Castleton, the last of the winning chances as they turn into the lane. No chance, Ode to Success. 1,200 left to go. Ivanov. Airwell Pegasus comes away from the markers though to take it on. 34 and 9 the opening quarter. So Airwell Pegasus runs on to the lead as he hears the bell. Tarn 3rd, 4th and Park McConway. Carwodo Spur back on the inside. In the 1-1 is Saffron Castleton, tracked up by the next Sea Spray Cracker. Then Phil's Folly back in the field, and Katie Ellen Castleton back last. They trot out to the 850. The Bracken Farms trot. The second quarter ticks off in 30.6 into the back. Airwell Pegasus leads a length over Tarn, who's come away from the inside to be parked, and Ivanov trailing. In the 1-1, Saffron Castleton. Out 3 wide, McConway, no cover. Carwodo Spur locked away 3 back on the inside, then Sea Spray Cracker. She's also in a pocket as they trot to the end of the back straight. Back in the field, Katie Ellen Castleton. Phil's Folly, 500 to go. Airwell Pegasus by a half over Tarn and Ivanov. Saffron Castleton. Sea Spray Spray Cracker's about to see clear running. Here she comes now. Carwado Spur and Katie Ellen Castleton, 29 and 7. The quarter down the back, they sprint for home. Where the leader Airwell Pegasus over Tarn, a length and a half, Ivanov. Saffron Castleton, Sea Spray Cracker down the outside, then Katie Ellen Castleton. It's Airwell Pegasus and Fergie, a length and a half. Sea Spray Cracker down the outside, but Airwell Pegasus. First look at Alexandra Park and romping away. Airwell Pegasus too good, and Fergie's got 3. Second over Sea Spray Cracker. Third Saffron Castleton, tight fourth. Tarn and Katie Ellen Castleton, a good run there. That's a photo for fourth. Further back of the field, Carwado Spur, Phil's Folly, Ivanov. They were followed McConway. Ode to Success pulled up. 31 the final quarter. 340.2 was the overall run. And Airwell Pegasus, first run at Alexandra Park, now trained by Matthias Samuelson. Peter Ferguson for 3. This a Pegasus Spur mare, win 5 at start 46 and careers away in the home straight. Sea Spray Cracker, good run after the early gallop. Saffron Castleton for third, particularly close for fourth between Tarn and Katie Ellen Castleton. Brecon Farms handicap trot, not too many debut like that at Alexandra Park.
Official placings, race 9, the Brecon Farms handicap trot. 9, 10, 11, 3, 4, 1. 9, 10, 11, 3, 4, 1. Horse 9, Airwell Pegasus, trotted the 2,700 metres from a stand and from a handicap in a net time of 3:39.3. It's a mile rate of 2:10.8. Last 860.7 and the 431. The margins 3.5 lengths, 3 lengths a neck. 9, 10, 11, 3, 4, 1. Race 9, the Brecon Farms handicap trot.
Airwell Pegasus back at the head of the field. Pegasus Spur, 5-year-old bay mare out of Jamie Nicole for a classic equine New Zealand syndicate. Career win 5 at start 46. Now trained by Matthias Samuelson at West Melton. Peter Ferguson picks up his third victory on the program here tonight. Auckland Trotting Club steward Johnny McRae was part of the victory celebrations there with Airwell Pegasus. Second victory on the program tonight too for the stallion Pegasus Spur. And Airwell Pegasus bred by J.S. Munro. 10 Sea Spray Cracker in for a second. Bryland Boys Sea Spray Eunice, a brown 6-year-old mare raced by B.T. Freeman, R. Casey and Mrs. L.D. Best. Stephen Doody trained at Palmy, Todd Mitchell. And 11 Saffron Castleton third. Monarchy Castleton Gold, 4-year-old bay mare raced by WF in the estate of Mrs. G.L. Taylor. Warren Taylor trained at Morrinsville, and Zach Butcher doing the driving. 9 Airwell Pegasus, $40.60 and $5.40, $40.60 and $5.40. 10 Sea Spray Cracker at $1.60, $1.60, and 11 Saffron Castleton, $2.80, $2.80. Quinella, $57.30, $57.30. Trifecta, $907.40, $907.40. First four, $3,155.90, $3,155.90. A carry forward through to race 10 of $694 in the first four. $694 jackpotting in the first four.
But out here at Addington Raceway, I'll tell you what, it was really cold earlier on, but once that wind died down, the action on the track's been most enjoyable.
Yeah, it has indeed, and one to come. Don't mind Exceptional Man for your $1 each way on the last. You've got a gold coin lying on the table. Don't know if he can win, but his run, as you said at Rungier on Sunday, will need a lot to go his way. But for the sake of $2, if it does, going to be about just under $50 better off if that price holds up. Unless you want to take the fixed odds, then you'll be over $50 better off if the things do go his way and he happens to win. Ivan Court trained pacer is Exceptional Man. $2.20 Horace Greeley. It's been crunched on the option. It's in to $1.90. The 7 here, Horace Greeley. From better than $2, it was around $2.20 or $2.30 not too long ago. It's into the red. $1.90 on option 8.10. $2.20 on the tote. So they're about to line up. Scanrico Bay, Western Art, Sandy Dryden, Highview Jimmy, Valmara, Horace Greeley and Donegal Katrina. Dr. McDreamy, Ideal Act and Jimmy Hoffa. Pantheon, Exceptional Man, Oasis Dream and Coyote. Big field, final race. The one wanted is the 7, Horace Greeley. $2.10, looking to cap off what's been another very good night at the office for Team All Stars. Around they come, Scanrico Bay, Valmara, Oasis Dream ready.
Just wait for them inside, wait for the outsides to come
They're
up.
called up. Timaru Sunday, hrnz.co.nz's got your information for that meeting. Dr. McDreamy ready, Ideal Act. Jimmy Hoffa.
Push Tom down, he'll be in your road.
A few hang-ons coming at the start.
All right, fellas, wake them up, thank you.
They're ready.
Happy.
Racing in the last. And best to go and lead. Horace Greeley's come forward to second. Dr. McDreamy just not real keen to get down to the pegs, but at the urging of the driver, John Dunn, he's done so now. Horace Greeley to second, Sandy Dryden third, and fourth is Ideal Act around Scanrico Bay. A length and a half Highview Jimmy and 2 lengths Coyote, 2 to Pantheon, 2 to Western Art. Oasis Dream on the inside from Jimmy Hoffa, Valmara Exceptional Man, and Donegal Katrina 7 lengths away last. Going to the back and Horace Greeley, favourite, grabs control of race number 10. And leads by 2 lengths over Dr. McDreamy second. 4 away from Valmara, Pantheon, Western Art. A length and a half Jimmy Hoffa. Last at the pack is Exceptional Man and 5 lengths to Donegal Katrina. Running off the back and Horace Greeley keeps a pretty steady tempo going. It leads by 2 lengths. Second, Dr. McDreamy, and 3 away, third, Sandy Dryden. He's backing off now, Purdon with the leader. 2 lengths away, fourth is Scanrico Bay. Ideal Act is running fifth without a trail, and Oasis Dream is 5 paces back the inside. 1 to Highview Jimmy from Coyote around Valmara, Pantheon, Western Art. And then Jimmy Hoffa, Exceptional Man, went to the pegs and tailed off as Donegal Katrina. Lead time 1:19, and the favourite, the last one of the night, Horace Greeley, leads by a length and a half over Dr. McDreamy. Sandy Dryden third, and DeFilippi having a good look over the right shoulder to see who's moving up 3 wide. He's got Ideal Act parked for an Exceptional Man, went from the inside to the 3 wide line, and Donegal Katrina's about 10 lengths away last. First quarter 32.1, and it's Horace Greeley at the 1,000-metre mark leading over Coyote. 3 wide Pantheon looking to get around Coyote, and the leader's back, Dr. McDreamy fourth. 3 wide Western Art now left in the open from Ideal Act. Over on the peg, Sandy Dryden. And then came Jimmy Hoffa and Highview Jimmy between horses from Exceptional Man, Scanrico Bay. Valmara, Oasis Dream, and tailed off as Donegal Katrina. Horace Greeley leads near the 600-metre mark over Pantheon. Dr. McDreamy running third from Coyote. 3 wide Western Art, 4 wide Jimmy Hoffa. And then came Sandy Dryden. Ideal Act follows up 3 wide on the back of Western Art from Valmara. Further back in the race, Exceptional Man, Scanrico Bay's amongst them with Highview Jimmy and Oasis Dream. Second quarter 31, 63-1 for the half, and the leader Horace Greeley. Half a length on Pantheon. Dr. McDreamy the inside from Coyote, Western Art, Ideal Act. And next to turn for home, Jimmy Hoffa. Third quarter in 30.3, it's Horace Greeley in front, inside run, Dr. McDreamy. And then came Pantheon. It's still Horace Greeley. Dr. McDreamy's a neck away. Pantheon, Ideal Art zipping home down the middle, but Horace Greeley's going to see it out over Dr. McDreamy and Sandy Dryden inside run. Horace Greeley won it, beat Dr. McDreamy. Sandy Dryden third. Fourth in goes to Ideal Act. And then came Pantheon, followed in by Scanrico Bay. 7, Horace Greeley. Mark Purdon, 210, 120. Has beaten number 9, Dr. McDreamy, at $6.80. And Sandy Dryden, the 4, at $3.40. Last quarter, 28.9. Last mile, 22.3. Thanks to Al for all their sectionals tonight. And Greg Mark Purdon, he's seen it out. Dr. McDreamy's destined.
This horse on debut by Western Edition. Too strong. Once it found the front, was always going to be extremely hard to beat. 4 for the night for the Purdon Rasmussen All-Stars team. And it delivers, albeit narrowly. Good in second, wasn't it? Dr. McDreamy and Sanders from Cranji, on behalf of the team that have brought you all of the action here from Addington Raceway. It's our opportunity to say goodbye. We'll catch you again from the Far Lap on Sunday. And, of course, we've still got one to come from Alexandra Park. But let's head to the team. Cranji, meeting 12, race number 1.
And well and truly towed up by those horses. Thanks, Edward. So we are getting set for the opener. Moving in. And the favourite here is Pegasus Victory, 9 and 5.1. Now 18 for Sacred Crown. Now Invincible Dragon. I just wonder whether he might try and go forward here, Zaki, on a horse who did used to lead early on in his career, but not recently. Virgin Galactic coming along. Pegasus Victory, the favourite to go in, and still waiting on Sacred Crown, who has been pretty well back tonight. He's at 19 and also 10 in this race number 1. Now the big weekend of racing. Feature race tonight is the UT Classics, coming up as race number 7, and we're all set now for the first. This is on the poly track. In the early stages here from Happy Forever, Virgin Galactic, then Invincible Man, who's getting up, Invincible Dragon, I should say, right up behind them into 4th, Pegasus Victory, and then Sacred Crown, who's going around the outside. So the fancied runners are second last and last, as Pegasus Victory has gone back to the tail. Follow the King led the way here for Aslam, up towards the 500 metres from Virgin Galactic, 3 out. Then came Happy Forever in the middle, behind those Invincible Dragon. Gee, Pegasus Victory is under the whip at the moment, in a pocket as well, with Sacred Crown on his outside. So nervous moments here. The horse in the black and red, he's back in last, Pegasus Victory, and it's Follow the King who led. Sacred Crown starting to warm up now. He's coming down the outside, and Pegasus Victory, the deepest runner, is winding up as well. Sacred Crown, he hit the front here from Follow the King, but Pegasus Victory is looking to gather him in at Sacred Crown. Pegasus Victory, inch by inch, is getting there. They draw to the post, but Sacred Crown, that's been a good effort after missing the start. Pegasus Victory just got himself in a bit of a predicament there at the top of the straight, and he's just missed out. Follow the King will be 3rd, then Happy Forever, Invincible Dragon, and further back then to Virgin Galactic. Well, the favourite has gone down, Pegasus Victory, and he was heavily backed into 7 and 5.1, and that's going to be a tough pill to swallow there for those who have put the money on. And Sacred Crown at 24. That's been a good price in the end, so the money was all one way at the end, even though Sacred Crown was pretty well backed through the course. Pegasus Victory won't get there, and nice performance. Well, I'm sure Harry will be pretty disappointed with that on Pegasus Victory. Might have just been a victim of circumstances, but to get himself back last and in a pocket at the top of the straight was probably not where he wanted to be on a $7 favourite. And look, the horse has run well, but Sacred Crown, he got a couple of lengths on him, and that was significant. 0.78, and victory goes to Sacred Crown there for Loyalty Stable. Muhammad Yusuf with a win. Nurish Jaglal. Nice to see Nurish get a win. I bumped into his wife or fiance. Fiance arrived in town to see her man win the first. Well done to all concerned there. By Beautiful Crown out of Sturd, Muhammad Yusuf and Nurish Jaglal, raced by Loyalty Stable, a 4-year-old bay Australian bred gelding. Number 3, Pegasus Victory, trained by John O'Hara. Now off the fence in the home straight. Battled on Brian Dean there and Aslam by My Halo out of Dance Tribune, a 4-year-old chestnut New Zealand bred gelding. 4-3-8-6 ahead by 2. The winner an easing $24, 60.78 the time. And despite the fact he missed the start, Edward Sadler, that was a bit of misfortune, but one that you alluded to that possibly could happen. He got a good ride in the end, and he was able to put the favourite in a pocket, and that turned out to be a crucial part of the race up around the 400-500 metres.
Only one senior rider engaged in the race, Matt, but he's got the result. Nurish Jaglal on this horse. Pegasus Victory, that was awkward at the top of the straight. You knew that you were going to need a little bit of luck when he was hemmed up, as you said, and it took him a little while to get his momentum, and by the time that he did, Matt, Sacred Crown just had that break. if the race was run over a little bit further, an extra 10 metres, you'd imagine the Pegasus Victory would have got him. But Sacred Crown, the winner, he's been threatening to win a race, Matt. He's been around the mark at a few of his recent runs, back to 1,000 metres after last time he was over 1,600 metres, a trip that probably wasn't right for him. The other thing that was right for him too tonight, Matt, though, was he backed up after last week, and he's a horse that now 3 of his 4 victories have come when backing up. So he's happy just to not have much of a break, Matt, and keep on working hard.
Yeah, and Nuresh's fiancée Chaya down there in the black, she's coming to hold the horse. So young couple in love, nice to see.
Sure you could relate to that, Matt?
Oh yeah, well I'm not that young anymore, but
young at heart.
Yeah, that's right. So nice to see Chaya there. She's become a hit. We only met her about 15 minutes ago.
Well, well done to Nuresh, and lost his cool either after the horse missed the start. He was happy just to sit back in clear galloping room so that he wasn't going to be in too much trouble, and gets the result here for Muhammad Yusuf and the Loyalty stable.
This will be hard to watch for favourite putters, won't it?
It will be.
$7.
What will be easier, Matt, is there is another 8 races to get the money back. But yeah, it was he still run well, Pegasus Victory, and if he's in another race like this again, you would still be giving him a hope. Follow the King, Matt. He looked to be travelling really well coming towards the turn, but he's managed to get 3rd place here and 4th going to Happy Forever. But 4, 3, 8 and 6, the all clear is now there, so now paying. Did you ever
awkward or something along those lines at the top of the straight? It's amazing. In a 6-horse field, you think, well, what could possibly go wrong? But yeah, to get himself caught up in a traffic jam or a bit of a spot of bother there, or predicament at the top of the straight.
Yes, Sacred Crown held on just in front of Pegasus Victory and followed for 3 and 8, $23.10. Going to wrap up the pick 6 at Addington tonight. Horace Greeley for Mark Purdon takes out the last 210, 120, beats 9 Dr. McDreamy, 680, 4 Sandy Dryden, 340. Quinello 11 and 7, 2040. Concession 11 and 9, 59.70. The treble 9, 11 and 7, $79.80. And the quaddie 2, 9, 11 and 7, $107.70. Play 6, they get $1,025.10. Our last at Alexandra Park tonight. Very good field here for the maidens. There's few being specced out here. Just My Heart at $10. They're specking a few outside the favourite here. And Anna Lee being well backed as well on the fixed odds. So runners 5, 6 and 9 all well backed on the fixed odds through from the sports desk. Earlier in the night I caught up with Brett Mangos. This is what he had to say about Anna Lee. Mango, on the last year drive, Anna Lee, you drew 2nd row last week.
Came off turning in, and Tony actually followed me with 1-4 fence, and he got up and run 2nd. And I think if I'd stayed the fence, she would have run 2nd. So she hit the line good. I thought first run around the park, she should improve. Good winning chance in the last night, mate? I definitely thought it did. It seemed to have a bit of bottom to it, so I think she's a good chance. Brett Mangos' thoughts on Anna Lee, trained by Robert Dunn. Morris McHenry, he drives Gotta Go Plain Jane, and this is what he had to say about the 3-year-old filly. Morris, you drive Gotta Go Plain Jane for Tony Grayling in the last, a horse that just seems to be getting better with racing, and 2/5 in her last 2 starts.
Yeah, she's quite a nice wee filly, and she's sort of got better. The last run she had to do, she was parked the last half, and they run a good half, and she whacked away pretty good. So, yeah, she's there's 1 or 2 in here go pretty good, but she's a filly that's sort of getting better.
Is she one of those horses that possibly a first 4 chance with the right run tonight?
Yeah, well, that's right. She could be, and I think even next time, next preparation, she could, win a race or 2. So, yeah.
Morris's thoughts about the Tony Grayling trained at Gotta Go Plain Jane, the filly by Gotta Go Collect. I marked them on top, number 9, Piece of My Heart. I made it my value bet of the night tonight, around about the $9.50 quote. Got as long as $10 on the fixed odds, into $7 at the moment. I thought she could win the last, the filly by Art Major. She trialled up nicely here on Saturday. She comes off the unruly. It's not going to be easy. 9, Piece of My Heart on top. 5, Anna Lee, unlucky last week in that race with Hidden Bad. As Mango said, she just couldn't quite get a gap when he needed that gap, and she ran to the line quite nicely. I thought 5, Anna Lee, a chance. 2, Ideal Quest, trained by, of course, Ray Green and Simon Lawson. This one for Lincoln Farms from Barrier 2. He's been quite good at the workouts. And 4, Elliot Daniel has good gate speed. can go forward from the draw and been racing okay. First 4 chance, horse number 4. I marked them 9, 5, 2 and 4 in the last leg of the quaddie tonight. Can tell you the favourite way in the quaddie with Mighty Flying Major, horse number 5, 8 Rycroft, 9 Earwell Pegasus. Favoured way here is 5 Annalee at $818. Ideal Quest, 1,061. Atomic Blonde, 2,700. And Piece of My Heart, just over $3,000 in the quaddie. Of course, Earwell Pegasus doing the damage in the third leg at around about $40. Aaron's numbers 5, 2, 7 and 9. 5, 2, 7 and 9. Just quickly, can tell you the workouts tomorrow at Alexandra Park. A couple of interesting runners going around at Katy Perry in heat number 7 tomorrow. That'll kick off at about 11:30 and stablemate Regulus going around tomorrow as well. So a couple of Crandale Giddy runners going around here at the park tomorrow, heat number 7, Katy Perry and Regulus. Aaron White, as I come to you for your thoughts on the last, I quite like Piece of My Heart in the last, a little bit of value. If you're down and need one to get out in the last at around about $8.50, you're with horse number 5, Annalee.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Annalee. She was a touch unlucky in her first look at Alexandra Park, so we'll stick with her. Brent Mangos doing the driving for Robert Dunn. We've put in the 2 Ideal Quest, the American Ideal filly, debuting for Ray Green and Simon Lawson. 7 Markle Beach, who I thought produced a good run when third resuming. And A Piece of My Heart, Scott Phelan for the Telfer Garlic team has to be in the mix there too. Scotty Phelan doing the driving, of course, his partner in the horse there too, and Tony McMullen. So if Scotty can get this one home, he'll certainly have a hot dinner waiting on the table when he gets home tonight with Piece of My Heart. 5, 2, 7 and 9 for me here, Craig, as the red light flashes in the last. And Craig, you might be able to answer this question for me. Mighty Flying Major, with the way the handicapping system is now, when he turns 3, does he come back as a maiden?
Actually, I'm not sure about that rule now, Aaron. I know Border controlled it at the end of last season, but I'm not sure if that's still is still the way it is. I actually will check up on you on that while this race is running, and I'll see if I can get an answer at the end of that race. But yeah, good question. Mighty Flying Major has been very well placed, the winner of his last 4 starts. Of course, now he's classed at C2. Racing tonight with that win. We'll just check under the new handicapping system what he comes back in the new season as. But they're in behind the mobile for the last. It is race number 10 tonight, the Tie Night at Alexandra Park, 1st of August.
Craig, with the runners making their way into the lane, Tie Night to open the new season, the 1st of August, $55 per person. Further information, alexpark.co.nz. Green light is on, and they're often pacing in the last, and coming out strongly, Ideal Quest out of barrier 2. On the journey safely, 2 coming forward, Atomic Blonde, and they're followed by Elliot Daniel. Back on the inside, Extreme Carrot, then Gotta Go Plain Jane. 1.5 lengths to Markle Beach, Annalee. No early gate speed back to second last as they work the stables corner. And 2 lengths away, Piece of My Heart back at the tail. 1,800 metres left to go in the Tie Night here at Alexandra Park on the 1st of August. Working into the back, and Atomic Blonde away by 2 lengths over Ideal Quest, who nestles in for the perfect run in the trail, and that leaves Elliot Daniel 3rd and Park. Extreme Carrot 4th, and 3 back on the inside with Gotta Go Plain Jane and the Magic Man Morris McKendry in the 1-1. Tracked up by Markle Beach, 2 lengths away in the field to Annalee, and Piece of My Heart back last. 43 and 5 the lead time as they sweep across the showgrounds turn, and Atomic Blonde, the Mark 3 filly, the Wizard Todd Mitchell away by 2. In second, the debutante Ideal Quest, and 3rd parked Elliot Daniel, then Extreme Carrot 3 back on the inside for Jay Abernathy. Gotta Go Plain Jane in the 1-1, then Markle Beach. Piece of My Heart starts a 3 wide run for Scott Phelan, and on to her back goes the favourite Annalee. 33 and 5 the opening quarter. Tie Night at Alexandra Park to bring in the new season, the 1st of August, as they work down to the Judge Bell, and 1 to go. Atomic Blonde will take them into their final circuit, 1.5 lengths Ideal Quest. Piece of My Heart is now 3rd and Park. Back on the inside, Extreme Carrot, there followed by Elliot Daniel, sees 1-1 cover. That's been tracked up by Gotta Go Plain Jane, then Markle Beach, Annalee. She's still back last here as they pace past the 800, 31 and 6 that second quarter. Into the back goes Atomic Blonde, leading away by a length and a half. Piece of My Heart sits comfortably second, parked, and back on the inside. Ideal Quest has had a perfect run on debut. Coming forward, Gotta Go Plain Jane 3 wide. Annalise 4 wide here. Then Elliot Daniel, Markle Beach who's 3 wide with cover but in a pocket. And back on the inside, Extreme Carrot. They pace off the back and around to the 400. Atomic Blonde, the third quarter in 29.2. Comes for home by a length. Piece of My Heart. Gotta Go Plain Jane there, followed by Ideal Quest and Elliot Daniel. Markle Beach. You don't like the favourite Anna Lee on the corner, homeward bound. Atomic Blonde, Piece of My Heart. On the inside, Ideal Quest. Then Gotta Go Plain Jane, Elliot Daniel. Piece of My Heart goes to the lead now over Atomic Blonde. Ideal Quest on the passing lane. Piece of My Heart. Ideal Quest on debut. Lengthens nicely. Ideal Quest and Piece of My Heart. Ideal Quest, the American Ideal filly on debut, does it nicely. Piece of My Heart second. They've lined up for third. Elliot Daniel. There was Gotta Go Plain Jane. Atomic Blonde was still there, and Markle Beach running home strongly. Anna Lee not tonight. Didn't fire a shot. And Extreme Carrot, one of the last. 30.3 the final quarter. The overall run in 2:48.3. The debutante from the Ray Green team at Huapai, Simon Lawson, Lincoln Farms, along with the Flemings, RG and Mrs. SP. They get the win on debut after a beautiful run in the trail throughout the passing lane. And winds up strongly to get past A Piece of My Heart. Scott Phelan will be second. They've lined up here for third. Elliot Daniel will just get that. That's been a game run. He had to sit park for the early part of the race. Mark will beat you fourth. Then Atomic Blonde and Gotta Go Plain Jane. Tie night at Alexandra Park, the 1st of August. Mobile Pace. Last race going to the debutante, Ideal Quest.
6-3. 294.763. Horse 2, Ideal Quest, paced the 2200 metres in 248.34. A mile rate of 23.1. Last 859.6 and the 430.3. The margins are half neck, 1 3/4 lengths a half head. 294.763, race 10, tie night at Alexandra Park on the 1st of August, Mobile Pace.
Judge Graham McLennan's final call tonight sees the victory go the way of Ideal Quest, American Ideal Bay 2-year-old filly out of Pocket Conquest, raced by Lincoln Farms Limited along with RG and Mrs. S.B. Fleming. Congratulations to you. Professional win on debut. Charlie Roberts, the breeder of Ideal Quest, to come back at the head of the field. Auckland Trotting Club steward Roger Barnes down there in attendance after the last, the tie night at Alexandra Park, 1st of August, Mobile Pace. 9, Piece of My Heart for second. Art Major Brown, 2-year-old filly out of Highfields Diamond, raced by Miss Tia McMullen, L.R. Campbell, D.L. Campbell, L.J. Goldsmith and R.S. Toman. Steve Telfer and Chris Garlick trained at Papakura. Scott Phelan. And in for third, 4, Elliot Daniel, Live or Die, 6-year-old bay gelding out of Sakita, raced by B.Y. Lim and Mrs. D.M. Stewart. Richard Brosnan trained at Ardmore, Richard doing the driving. In the last, number 2, Ideal Quest at $3.10 and $1.70, $3.10, $1.70. 9, Piece of My Heart at $1.50, $1.50. Elliot Daniel, number 4, $4.60, $4.60. Quinella Returns, $14.90, $14.90. Trifecta, $181.40, $181.40. And the first 4, $850.90, $850.90. 9 and 2 in the final double at $93.60, $93.60. 9 and 9 consent 70 cents, $309.70. The quaddie tonight on the numbers 5, 8, 9 and 2. Quaddie returns $1,061.10, $1,061 winning combination or part thereof in the Place 6 competition tonight. Well, that wraps it up for the third of our midwinter Christmas at the Races meetings here at Alexandra. Your company next Friday night under the ribbon of light at Alexandra Park. Good evening from the commentary box from Aaron White.